Hi, my name's John, and this is Business Update. In this week's episode, we'll be discussing how the CEO of Meta, or formerly Facebook Inc., Mr. Zuckerberg, is focusing or leveraging their different companies in focusing on virtual as the way of the future. Now, will that be a successful endeavor or not? We'll take a look. Now, obviously, we've discussed the issue with how Facebook is dealing with a significant issue with regards to its new subscribers or new users in their platform in Facebook. And if we were to take a look, here we have a chart from statistica.com. You can see here the number of monthly active Facebook users worldwide as of fourth quarter 2021, which is last year. You can see here from the very beginning of 2008, it's increasing, right? Which is, should be good for a company of this gargantuan in terms of users using their platform. And you can see here as you reach the quarter 4 of 2020, it's around 2.7, right? And then it increased to 2.8, 2.895 to 2.9. Now, here's the key number here. After 2.91 million users, it only increased marginally from 2.912. And obviously, based on the actual data that the company is having stiff competition with other platforms, namely TikTok, having more subscribers, and it's growing significantly compared to Facebook. And obviously, the Facebook generation is different from the generation that's heavily utilizing TikTok here. And obviously, as a company or any company that has stiff competition, is do you rest on your laurels or you find a way to compete with with your competitors? Now, obviously, Facebook has been in the market, leading in the market in the social media platform for all its benefits and its negative aspects with data privacy. But the point here, they're trying to find ways. That's why they've invested heavily in many companies, such as WhatsApp, you have Instagram, and the likes, to consolidate their position in the virtual content provider here. And obviously, it's not just that. And if you're familiar with the gaming console peripheral, the VR Oculus is another way to consolidate that. Now, whether that would pan out in terms of their investment, we'll see. But for today, we'll be talking about, in particular, the discussion of how the CEO, Mr. Zuckerberg, highlights the importance of short video. Well, I think that's a given with the very popular, the rise of popularity of short format video, which was showcased by TikTok. With you have YouTube having shorts, and then now you have Facebook also. And obviously, having a $1 billion revenue loss is not good, but obviously you have to look at it not just in the short run but in the long run as well here. So according to the TechTimes.com, as mentioned, so what did Mark Zuckerberg mention with regards to the said issue here? Should the company investors be concerned with what's going on in terms of the decline of the user base, meaning fewer and fewer users are registering in the platform, preferring on other alternatives, whether for whatever reason and so forth, whether the popularity has waned and has reached a plateau? Only time can tell. But let's take a closer look here. So as mentioned here, where was it? There you go. So the Meta CEO, so that was former Facebook, is lamenting the company's worst revenue drop in the past year. So in the past 2 decades or so, you can see the growth in their user base. Obviously, their main business is generating revenue through advertisement, so they have heavily rely on the number of people that are subscribing to their platform. Now, the company appears, or the CEO appears to have plans as the social media giants move forward with its declining stock price during 2021. So the platform should put more emphasis on innovating Facebook short video products, which are similar to what TikTok offers. Now, I think it's not just competing with TikTok in terms of content creation, but also neglecting what the main user base is all about, what made Facebook popular in terms of connectivity with people, and obviously providing different content in the channel. The news feeds, you can see which is being posted with your friends and loved ones and so forth. Now, looking at Mr. Zuckerberg, looking stressed, even though he's still one of the richest persons in the world. Anyway, it mentions here an anonymous source who attended the Meta-wide virtual meeting last time revealed the main reason why the company stock sharply dropped during Q4 of 2021. So it mentions the weak forecast for the companies caused Meta to suffer from a $1 billion loss during the said quarter. Now, $1 billion may not be much for some, actually it's pretty significant, but for the company, which is worth more than billion or trillion dollar company. So according to Mr. Zuckerberg, that the company should focus more on improving in its short video products. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, the company has to realize what are their strong suits. Even if more younger users are preferring other alternatives such as TikTok as mentioned, but delving in another platform or trying to be like TikTok could be detrimental for the company, because obviously at the end of the day, the core base of your user base in Facebook, which what made them successful in the long run or in the past, is because of the connectivity it provides. Now, obviously, that the issue with the data privacy, as mentioned earlier, can be kind of convoluted if you look at the data here. Anyway, now in terms of the Meta stocks here, as you can see, the fallout of the Meta stocks. Now, the sudden 250 billion drop in revenue in just one day could be catastrophic for many companies, but for them, they can still survive this issue here. But the question here is it the right decision for the company to leverage the focus on short video, or consolidating their strategy in terms of investing in virtual reality here? Now, according to Zuckerberg's metaverse dream, so not the MCU metaverse, dream might be affected by the revenue drop. So obviously, this is pretty gargantuan. So at this point, the company is evaluating its steps to avoid another round of stock drop, which is obviously if they continue on the path of maybe it's my only opinion, is they're neglecting their core base on trying to innovate, because they're too much focused on generating ads for their business and not thinking, are they trying to be what do you call this? Trying to control the content, what's being allowed to be presented in the media, in the public forum, and so forth. Obviously, if there's a negative connotation in for business, fewer advertisements will be generated or generating revenue for the company here. But even though Zuckerberg wanted to prioritize the health of his staff, allowing them to take vacation leaves. Now, obviously, would that impact the company as a whole? That's a internal issue here. Now, it mentions here also that Zuckerberg wanted to regain the number of daily active users on the platform. Well, it's either they find ways to innovate their platform to not just copy other platforms and integrate it, make it like so. It's a mix of what do you call this? Mix of content. Obviously, if you gear towards the photo, you think of Instagram. If you think of short video, you think of TikTok and Facebook. It's technically more on social media connectivity in a sense that has a plethora of services and so forth. But I think they need to go back to their roots and find out what's their strong suit and leverage that, rather than diversifying. Obviously, based on the numbers, because the declining number of user base on a daily basis is alarming here. That's why you see many companies like Apple, even if they're still number one in terms of smartphone manufacturing, the popularity of iPhone is an all-time high, but it has reached its saturation point, meaning they have targeted all the people who is willing to buy their phone at a certain price. And if they keep on jacking up the price, obviously it will turn off some of the customer base, and eventually it's too expensive that not many can even afford it. So that's why they've even considered shifting their business, investing in other streaming services. You also have in this case for foraying into in the automobile industry, in being able to manufacture the first ever not ever first ever Apple car here, which is, a lot of people are excited, but they're not a car manufacturing company, so they need to partner with the company. So we'll see how that pans out. But in terms of Facebook here, it's not just that the revenue has dropped recently, but the issue of the Facebook, where is it? That there's no Facebook in parts of Europe, Facebook and Instagram in Europe, which is kind of surprising. So this is kind of surprising, meaning did they violate any privacy issues? That's why they're not allowed to be used in other parts of the world, and obviously that's going to significantly hamper their bottom line in terms of ad generation here. So it always goes back to what their strong suit at, and obviously the what do you call this, the dilemma that the company has in terms of how they deal with the data of the user base is kind of alarming. That's why I rarely post anymore on my social media. Obviously, it's for connectivity with friends and colleagues and loved ones to make it convenient. But other than that, I don't use it for any leisure activities. And if I were to post, if it's very important occasion and sorts, and most often than not, my wife posts it already on my behalf, so I don't have to do it on my part. But the question is Facebook heading in the right direction in terms of their investment on the metaverse or in the virtual reality, not just in the short video? Only time can tell. And obviously, neglecting their core base of users can have a negative impact or detrimental impact in the long run, not just in the short run here. Well, anyway, hoping for the best for Facebook, because when it started, I think the social media platform started with, I think it was Friendster, I think, and I forgot what was even before that. And obviously that popularity waned, so people shifted to a different platform where Facebook became where they are today, the giant tech company that they are. Hopefully they won't take it for granted and find a way to to overcome this difficulty, which they have a plethora of billions and billions of dollars to support themselves in the short time frame that we have here. Anyway, I think that's about it. So I'll keep you posted with regards to what's going on with Facebook and with Mr. Zuckerberg here. Anyway, for the full article, if you are interested, I'll leave the link in the description below. As always, I'll see you again same time, same day, every Friday. That's a different video. Every Wednesdays for more business update. As always, take care, and I'll see you next time.